Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Sometimes a slow building fire is best. It's best. And ladies, you know, I've heard a lot of ladies say they lost interest in somebody because of the spark. Now, I understand about the spark. It means, hey, you got that chemistry with the guy. You know, he turns you on sexually and stuff. And, you know, you got a certain feeling. And that's cool. I'm not going to fight it too much. But the thing about a spark can, it can spark quickly, but it can be put out quickly too. It can be put out. That quick spark can be put out. And that's what happens. I've lost count of how many women I've known who met a guy and say, yeah, this is it. He's the one. He's all that. And then you see him 6 months later. I say, hey, how's that guy doing? Oh, I don't speak to him anymore. And then you talk about all this stuff. I mean, during the period of time you were with them, which nowadays is an average of 3 months, and that's men and women, bigger conversation. But, you know, you like, oh, yeah, it was great. It was exciting and all of that. Your toes were curling. He made you laugh, all of that stuff. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But then just that the problem with the spark, just as quickly as it comes, it can go. Now, the thing is, what is that spark ultimately? It's fire, it's energy. A slow building fire can actually be best for the long term because it's building. Because see, here's the thing with the spark. That spark is, quite frankly, based on lust. Now, lust is good. Let me be very clear about that. Lust is very good. And I've told the men, hey, if that woman ain't feeling that lust for you, don't deal with her. I would say that with y'all. If you don't feel that lust for a guy, don't deal with them. But sometimes that lust can be built up slowly. And here's the beauty of it when it's a slow building fire. Not only are you building that lust, you building something for who he is. You seen him in another light. Because, see, the problem with the lust is it's purely physical. It's purely sexual. And yes, it's important. Yes, you got to have that for a relationship to work. But see, when it's that spark, it's just focused on that lust. Just focused on that lust. It's just focused on, that physical attraction. It's just focused on that fun. It's just focused on that fire. In relationships, you need a whole bunch of other stuff. You need all elements in a relationship, not just fire. You need air. You need earth. You need water. And you need everything for it. The thing about a slow building fire is you have to nurture that fire. Because first of all, it's not a spark. A spark is like a lightning strike. It's like boom. But then that slow fire, first you have to light the fire. And it's usually small. You get that little fire and you just get a little bit. Start with some smoke, but then you got to put some wood to it and everything. You got to add to it. You got to do a lot of stuff. You got to work at it. You got to work at that slow building fire. Then you have to maintain it. But as it builds slowly, it stays steady. So when you meet some guy, you might not have that initial strong thing, but then be open to just talking with them. Be open to it. Now, if you're totally not physically attracted to them, I get that. But usually, most guys, I've talked to a lot of y'all, most guys got some you can work with. He might have some. You look at him and say, okay, he ain't bad. All right, be open to some. You know what? You might talk with them and find out, hey, that personality is compatible. You might find out you like the same things. And then y'all start hanging out together. Y'all start interacting. You start talking. You start building something. You start enjoying it. Like you feel good. this is the type of guy who, if you ain't feeling well, he's like, hey, you okay? Let me go bring you something. He could be the type of guy, it's like, shoot, you don't cook, but you know what, he ain't feeling good. You say, hold up, let me go get this food for him. You might even buy it for him, but it's building slowly. You seeing this man's character. I'm going to talk about character in my next video, my next podcast, rather. But you find out more about him. You find what happens is more stuff happens to bond together. See, people, one of the mistakes people have to don't get is they try to bond off the wrong things or just one thing. People do have to bond sexually. They do. We can't get past that. People have to have that click. But then people also have to have a personality compatibility. And see, that slow building fire also builds that. But then the most important thing, more important than the carnal lust or the emotional compatibility, is the heart. And that takes a while to build. That takes a while to build, to really open your heart, because the society we live in now, most of us hearts aren't totally open. Indeed, somebody's heart is totally open, they will need a lot of protection. And if they're in the wrong place, they get taken advantage of because their heart is so open. But we still need it. We still need it. And that's important. See, one thing about slowly building a fire, you are slowly also opening your heart to that person. And that's a connection way more powerful than just some lust, or a connection way more powerful than just having some things in common or even personality compatibility. That's that heart connection between people. But in this society, like I said, very, 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 very few people will immediately have their hearts open. And they can't. I mean, the reality is they can't in this environment. Too many people want to take advantage. But when you're dealing with that person, that's the person you can slowly open your heart for. You can slowly see who they really are. Because see, one thing about the spark, sometimes we're just sparking off of that mask. And we don't see who that person really is. Because it's a spark and it's all the excitement. And you focus on the excitement. But any relationship, yes, it needs excitement. But it also needs that time where y'all have to be totally serious. You going through something. You don't need somebody trying to be the life of the party. You need somebody who can be strong emotionally because stuff is happening. All of this is very important. And like I said, sometimes a slow building fire is best. Now, am I going to say still look, let's be real. Sometimes a relationship can build off of that just pure emotional compatibility or that pure lust. It's rare, but it can happen. But I'm saying for sometimes, though, a slow building fire is best. All right? And I want y'all to think about that. All right, ladies? And I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.